Hello there. It is morning time for me, and I just got to work and had a interesting experience on my way to work with a visit from my dad and from my guides. It was fun. It was fun. I wanted to share it, and I share these things so that those who, so for anybody who thinks that they can't connect with their loved ones who have passed, or hear people talk about connecting with the guides or connecting with spirit, and they're like, yeah, that doesn't happen for me. I'm sure it does. I have no doubt in my mind that it does, and you just aren't necessarily recognizing it for what it is for a lot of reasons. So I share my experiences so that you can hear about it and have an awareness of things like that are happening for you. Like, oh my gosh, I really am connecting. So, okay, it is October 31st. Happy Halloween! Samhain! Yay! All those things. And so it's October 31st today, and my cousin's getting married today. So congratulations to Jeremy and Tiffany too. Woo-hoo! I'll see you later tonight. And it's very dark. We are on the verge of a new moon. I think it officially happens tomorrow on November 1st. So we're on the verge of a new moon. So it's very dark out. And right now it is raining, and it will change to snow. So it's that time of year in Minnesota where the roads are going to be a bit sketchy here and there. And that's the time of year where I start to feel nervous as I'm driving, because I've experienced so many other things on my drives to work in the snow and icy roads and whatnot. Now, in my mind, I know that the roads are not icy. It's I think it was 45 degrees last time I checked on my dash. 45 degrees. The roads aren't icy, but it's super dark out because of the new moon. It's not a lot of light, and it's raining, and it was raining hard for a lot of my drive. So as I'm driving, I feel in my body stress. I'm super sensitive to the biofeedback, the subtle changes and movements and things like that, especially with the roads that I drive on in Minnesota, Highway 14, the new Highway 14, not the old one. It's got like these grooves in it, cement, and it'll make the tires pull, especially if you have brand new tires. So even when it's like a super nice day out and the roads are perfectly fine, I can feel little shifts and pulls in the car. But when it's icy and snowy out, my brain can't tell if those pulls are because it's icy and I need to be more careful, or if it's just the road. So I get nervous about it because, like I said, in the past, I've seen people spin out in front of me. I've spun out, like, I want to stay safe, and I want to keep other people safe too. So I have to work through every year, like, the mental and the physical things that come along with driving on snowy, icy roads, and the programming that I have based on past experiences. So bottom line, I get anxious. And actually, as I was driving to work and going through these things, Spirit showed me an image of the movie Bridesmaids, where is her name Kristen Wiig? Kristen Wiig is on the plane, and she's like freaking out, talking about somebody churning butter, and maybe it wasn't Kristen, maybe it was the other person in the movie, talking about churning butter. Somebody's churning butter on the wing of the airplane, like how she's like freaking out, right? So that's how I feel inside, super super anxious and just spun out of my body really when the roads are like this. And it takes a lot of effort for me to ground myself and focus on what I'm doing, and not like want to spin out because of the anxiety I'm feeling. So when they showed me that image, I immediately laughed and like, yep, that is exactly how I'm feeling. Thank you for that. And the laughing was laughter is very grounding. It really gets you back in your body. Well, at the same time, it expands your heart. It expands your being. So thank you for that. I was thinking them on my way to work. So they showed me that, though, before it got to that point, I had noticed I was feeling anxious. So I was practicing some things, some techniques I'm learning from a book. And it's something like Superpower Healing or something like that. It's by R.J. Spina. And it's the first book in his series. I think there's 3 altogether. So this author, R.J., actually was diagnosed paralyzed from the chest down, and used the power of the essence of his spirit to program his body to move and walk again, like full recovery, right? So I'm learning some techniques from him, and I'm finding them very helpful. I would highly recommend the book so far. Anyway, I was practicing some of those techniques. Like, I am not the emotion, I am not the anxiety that I'm feeling. I am the observer of it. I was observing it. And what happened was, I suddenly heard in my mind the song, "I Can See Clearly Now, the Rain Has Gone." And at the time, so all these things happen at once, right? Like, things happen in flashes, and it's impossible to like verbally say in human chronos time all these things that are happening within our bodies within split seconds, and that we're like experiencing. So I was practicing what I was learning from RJ. At the same time, it's pouring rain, and I was having a hard time seeing. And I'm also processing like the self-talk of, I can't focus, I can't see clearly, yada, yada, yada. And that song popped into my head. "I Can See Clearly Now, the Rain Has Gone." And that song has a lot of meaning for me. I knew immediately it was my dad coming through. I had met my dad I think I was 39 when I met my biological dad. I have my bio dad, I have my dad who adopted me and raised me. They're both super wonderful people. My bio dad has passed away. And that song came through the day when the first time I met my bio dad, he lived states away, right? So him and his wife were driving up to meet me and my husband for the first time, and they had an overnight stay in the hotel. But as they were driving, his wife was resting, had fallen asleep in the car, and he called me just to chat. Hey, we're on our way. This is where we're staying, yada, yada, yada. But he said, the song came on the radio, "I Can See Clearly Now." You know that song? I'm like, yeah, I know that song. And he said, because we had just really within a few weeks learned of each other, and we're just getting to know each other. So he was telling me how that song, emotions. So he was telling me how that song, how he identified with that song in that moment, on how now that he's like had gotten in touch, how it really felt like that song, like that's how life unfolding in that moment was causing him to feel and experience things. Like the clouds were parting, the sun was coming out, and he was just very happy and grateful about everything that was unfolding at that time. So that's like our song. And so that song came through. I knew immediately it was my dad, like saying, "Hey kiddo, I'm here. You got this. You got this." And then to like really hit it out of the park, he showed me the scene from the movie The Shack. I forget who wrote that book. So it's a book, it's a movie. It's about a gentleman whose daughter is murdered. I mean, it's a hard movie to watch. But at the same time, there's so many expansive concepts in it too. So in that movie, there's a scene where the main character is in a rowboat, and the waters are darkening around him. I think he thinks he's sinking. There might be something, I haven't watched it in a while, but he's very fearful. And Jesus is in the boat with them saying, "Look at me, look at me, look at me, like focus on me." So my dad was bringing me that song, which was helping me to feel good and think of him. And he's like, "Look at me, I'm here, you got this, just relax, keep practicing what you're practicing, you this." So yes, that was my experience on the way to work tomorrow. I hope on the way to work this morning. Yeah. I hope you all have a great day. Happy Halloween. Enjoy the can't think of the word, not the lifting of the veils, but enjoy what the heck? Come on, Spirit, help me out here. The thinning of the veils. Thank you. Enjoy the thinning of the veils. This is a really, I don't know, I just love this time of year. It's so grounding and connecting and expansive and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, enjoy the expansion, my friends. Bye.